13-4 on Ascent in favor of Core. We've had some one-sided matches today, but we still have one more game left to go. Match point for Core. But Tanner, I just had this feeling at the halftime when we saw Chosen Ones with the flawless pistol round, with the bonus round. Did you get the vibe that they could overcome that 10-2 deficit at that point?
Yeah, it definitely looked good. Knowing that that's a must-win pistol round, you do it flawlessly. Like, there was no question of whether or not they were winning that pistol round. And so, yes, I thought there was a world, especially being on the defensive side, that they could come back into it. But then we get a little bit later in the game, or a little bit later in the half, I should say. And I think we saw kind of the same, I'm going to call it a mistake, like the same mistakes that were made on their attacking side, where they have these ideas and then they're just a little too overcooked of, wanting to play around the map. And then they're kind of just doing a little bit too much, and eventually they outplay themselves. Whereas in this round, as like the final round, looking at that, it ends up being Hesse having to go crazy in a 4K when the null command was already used out towards the A site. I think at that point, you just gamble that you need to start running your Killjoy that way, get that lockdown in the mix. And they were cooking something else up with Hesse out towards mid and trying to support that way. And again, it just seemed a little overcooked. I think Chosen Ones didn't really give themselves a chance to get back in. I think they beat themselves in some of these rounds.
We definitely saw a couple of layers, right, for what Chosen Ones wanted to do, especially around the map control that we got to see, whereas the mid side, or even what the Killjoy and the full backstab was going to play out and was going to benefit them from the round. But it was okay. That is the first layer. Maybe it's the second layer. What follows after to make sure that those rounds, when you find that early success, end up in that round win? And that is where definitely Chosen Ones was lacking a little bit. While Core, you could see the ideas were clear from the beginning until the end. A team that was playing a little bit slower early on. They're not running it down at you. They're not trying to take the fight right to your face, but just planned around how they're going to be positioned around the map. We saw it especially from Leah Panda, the positioning that she had on the Sova on the defensive side early on, as we get to see the Sovas play with the Odin, then changing it up a little bit, then trying to bring a different layer, playing so far back towards Cubby and getting some kills with the ultimate. There's so many layers that came through for 4 that really showed against Chosen Ones.
Talk to me more about this map control Dryad, because what lacked in Chosen One's offense in their post plants? Because they seem really successful at taking the site, they planted a lot, but they just were unable to win most of their offensive rounds, being down 2-10 at the half.
We saw a lot of rounds for Chosen Ones on the attacking side that ended up on that B side, and the problem is they were trying to take that B side very quickly. Sometimes I would find an operator that took 1 or 2 of them down, as we saw most of the first going for the side of Core, or they couldn't clear out the whole side to position for the post plan the way that they wanted to. And that is Core on the retake. That is props to them because it was fast, it was reactive. They were giving no space for the Chosen Ones to feel comfortable with.
And Tanner, I gotta go back to you. Who impressed you the most so far? We got to keep the Metro MVP for the end of the series, but we're almost, I guess, halfway through the series if this ends up going to 2-0. Who's impressed you so far?
Yeah, I think Maple was impressive, obviously a duelist player, but finding a lot of kind of nuclear rounds in picking up multi-kills. We saw that one where they take the A site, they have a beautiful spray transfer to pick up a 3K, eventually turn into a 4K. You can obviously look to the duelist player to be like, wow, this player was very explosive and stood out a whole lot. But I really liked, there was 2 times, once from Gogu and once from Naomi, and I'm sure it's a team thing, but kind of the intuition and in the game sense to know when we saw that kind of overcooked round from Chosen Ones where they were out towards mid, back towards A, then trying to hit B. Naomi read that beautifully. Not only popped the nanoswarm, perfect timing to slow down the lockdown from coming through, and kind of just playing the clock and understanding that, hey, Chosen Ones are gonna try to make a play here. I'm thinking it's gonna be on this side. Then she swings the smoke and finds a 3K. And so that right there, you give props to Naomi for that. And then another round where Chosen Ones are also, still taking their time, and it's Gogo on the opposite side, who time is of the essence. They haven't really made themselves known. They've got a bit of information that they're not hitting the B site, and a beautifully timed null command comes out. And then at that point, Chosen Ones again, much like when they lost the Thrifty, and they just kind of have the carpet pulled from underneath them, and there's just no way back in to win those rounds.
Core just looking so dominant. Even before this match, they were winning their games 13-1. Now they're winning them 13-4. So technically, Chosen Ones are a bigger challenge, but we'll see if this next map will be challenging. Up next, we have Pearl, Dryad. What's next for these teams?
Yeah, I'm very interesting on this Pearl and how it's going to play out. I think it goes back to the 2 Jets that we got to see in that map number 1 and how they're going to play out and how they're gonna match up. I think for the set of Chosen Ones, although the ideas were there, although the support for the Jet was there in a couple rounds, it's still the first day, and I think that is kind of the credit that I give to Chosen Ones. I feel like they have a lot more to show, a lot more to prove, especially because they started Ascent on the attacking side, and that is difficult by itself. But on Pearl, I feel like we're going to see that a little bit more. The operator that they wanted to play around with, and we got to see a couple times right at the end of Ascent, it's going to be a lot more relevant on Pearl.
Yeah, they also get to start on the attacking side here, and which I think is a good place, because Pearl leans a little bit in favor of attackers a lot of the time.
Well, have fun, y'all. Match decider. Who's going to the bracket stage? Ooh. Good luck, QOR. Good luck, Chosen Ones. Let's get into it.
Ooh, Dryad. Okay.
We just have every duelist today.
It's getting spicy. Yeah, we have had every duelist today.
Is there one missing? I feel like there's one missing.
We had Neon
forgetting
Jet,
about somebody.
Reyna, Raze.
How many duelists are in
Yoru,
the game?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's it, right? When I think like, who do I hate? You know, what are the agents that I hate seeing locked in all 4 before my slow computer even loads me up to fill smokes? And I think that's all of them. The 6 that we named, maybe the 7 that we named. So yeah, we get a little bit of everything. I think I knew that we were gonna get something different on Pearl just because of the way the map plays. I know I said we weren't gonna get a boring Ascent, and we just got the standard Ascent comps. But because there are so many options here, I'm so happy that we're seeing 2 different options. Now, last series, we did see some options, but I don't always recommend the Yoru. But coming into this one, we have, you know, the Chamber is obviously maybe a little bit of an anomaly, but Harbor Viper with the Phoenix, that is a comp that has kind of been run across the board.
Yes.
And then you look at Core, and it's a little bit more standard, but it's similar, right? It's still a comp that it still sees a lot of play.
The first couple times that we saw it in Americas was actually this Phoenix on this map that Pearl specifically played by Cloud9. So some that we've seen, and we also seeing him changes to a good amount as well. But the Chamber, like you said, something new, and I want to see how Chosen Ones play around it.
And I guess to talk about the KO, which I feel like is maybe the elephant in the room, KO was very prevalent when Chamber was in the meta. So it just works out perfectly for Core that Gogu is playing the KO again, and there is a Chamber here. So Headhunter, Tour de Force, like all that stuff is going to be slowed down if you can land these knives. So very interesting how things played out as we go around the map, and things look a little flipped as the defense starts to work their way through a main. And now through Art, the attackers have assumed position inside this defender-sided spawn, but it's Core once more who are coming out on top in way of kills. Violet will battle back for one of their own. Forced to reload, backing away. Violet will try and find some more. It's only a classic now. The tap on the spike will get it halfway. Only one remains. It's Zoe around the corner. Right click is all it's going to take. Another tap, another right click. Make it a few more. And Zoe goes huge for the Red Bull clutch.
The classic just answers right when it's needed for Chosen Ones and for Zoe. Massive last couple kills right at the end for the Sky player. And when we talked about the experience that the team has, we talked about Zoe. We mentioned out of the players here, the one that has the most experience has to be Zoe, and that experience player ends up showing up right when it matters for the pistol round of Chosen Ones. Really well done. It's a 1v3. She just won, by the way.
3 pistols for Chosen One. They have won every pistol now, and they had no right to win that one. But Zoe goes huge and then picks up right where she left off, working a little bit closer to those Seekers and grabbing those online. Now at this point, you know, who are you giving the Altdorfs to? Are you giving them over to Hesse to get this run it back online for the Phoenix to try and make plays? Or are you looking to get those Seekers online early? Close angles, close fight. Good. I mean, the Trailblazer stun ends up hitting Peach T, and then Peach T gets nothing. It just feels like Zoe cannot do wrong right now.
very up close, and it gets a little bit chaotic, but a 1v5 right at the end, where Chosen Ones should be able to secure the second round. They do so with the Guardian right at the end from Violet. In a flawless fashion as well. So first one was a clutch, the second one flawless. This is a good way to get some momentum going for the squad, and now we really get to see how this composition is going to play out for them, right? Because it really is kind of a mix of every composition that we've seen recently and every topic of a conversation of what the meta is going to look like. So we obviously have the double wall, the double controller with the Viper and the Harbor. You mentioned the Phoenix and what it can do, what it brings, because it brings quite a lot, as we've seen it for many different teams across many different regions too. And then obviously having that chamber as well. Seeing if it's where it's going to be positioned early on to find that success. I mean, it does it right away for this round.
Early aggression. Leah Panda down. One of the skies gone. Violet will exchange words with Peach T, but not much more to be said.
I'm waiting for it. Knowing Violet's still here. Finally in the back camp.
I think I've noticed an advancement on the Tactibear.
Okay.
But I'm gonna wait until in between rounds, because this is supposed to be the round for Core to get back into it, and PC does good to slow Violet down to make sure that Chosen Ones know they do not have control of A main. But now split up, and Peach T is gonna be all alone as 4 players stomp that way.
And just now the rest of the players, especially Maple that was positioned towards B, is making that rotation as a spot planted. So it's just in time for the retake, the one that we saw in the first map for Core working out so well.
Secrets are out. Zoe having that one early here. Maple finds a kill on the retake. Goku also gonna grab another, and this one seemingly to work perfectly for Core. Mookie gonna try their hand at the 1v4 as they work their way through the Nebula smoke, and it's just too tall of an ask, and Core will finally be on the board. Dryad, I'm pretty sure it's whatever the observers are touching eventually becomes like the whatever the free cam observer. I think the free cam observer is causing the Tactibear to pop up, because I just saw a random Tactibear flying from A into Art, and I think it was following the free cam's camera while we were on point of view.
So,
I'm not 100%, but it's like, look at it now, look at it now, look at it swing through. Look, and now it's following the Killjoy.
No, there's two now.
So it's something on the observer side that is granting us the Tactibear.
I hope that never changes.
I'm sorry, I care way too much about that. I'm so sorry. I care way too much.
Too early on as we get to see the fight, the positioning, the setup for Core. Secure that round. They go for the retake towards A, and that is what gave them that success at the end of the day on that map number 1 of Ascent. So something that they're looking for to keep going on Pearl. Especially trying to shut down the one that gave them the opening pick on the other side for Chosen One, right? Violet. Where is Violet going to be positioned? No. Flash.
So no information to be had. Leah Panda will send out the second flash just under that minute mark to grab information that players are inside of main, and that basically tips them off that they're looking to crunch this A site. Hesi walks on, finds that frag. There's more to be had. Youngwon Ho gonna hang on to this angle for just a moment. Goku around the corner, and it's the Viper out on top. So Chosen Ones, it's a little bit slower this time around, but still yielding the same results. Youngwon Ho gonna go for another. Find a nice little double kill. Hesi will match. Double kill for double kill. Now Peach T only 58 health. Probably not long for this world. His Chosen Ones allow her to sneak away and hang on to this rifle.
Good at getting spotted as well thanks to the jump peek from Hesi, but
need that back.
The time running out with a 1v4. Is a round given?
Save. Save. Peach T, save.
There's no saving here. What do you say?
save. Run away with the rifle. PT's the only one who couldn't buy coming to this next round. There would be maybe a bit mustered up from Core. And I think just hanging out in that situation, I think the economy from Chosen Ones, even coming off of that win, having found any more kills, I think everybody would have been in a good situation to still rebuy. So I think a little bit of an oversight there from Peach Tea to try and hang out and do some economic damage when it hurts them the most.
Trying to play around, trying to take down that Phoenix. Nadim being the one who gets taken down, so but that timeout coming through. And again, this is the map pick for Chosen Ones, and we're starting to find out why. We're starting to see that early success that was definitely lacking on Ascent for the squad. That the pistols look good, but we talked about the layers that we wanted to see from them, and now it's something that is absolutely there. I'm curious to see how this run it back from He's is gonna work out. I want to see how aggressive is going to play out. We see teams that run this Phoenix comp on this map use it right away, right as the round starts. You're going right into R, going right into A main, trying to get at least that information. So it'd be great to see. It's a great tool as well to do that.
And a few stingers is all Core will look to muster up here in this one. Leo Panda having the Seekers. We'll see when those are popped. The initiators on opposite sides of the map allows for a good teeter-totter of information for the defense. Yeah, and there it is. That's good information.
Yeah.
Coming out from Leo Panda.
The first one doesn't get anything. The second one, that is the info of the players holding onto this A position very early on, and being careful as well. But
careful now.
The very light buy that's coming through from Core, especially after the timeout. So there's nobody on this side right now. There's only a star to deal with. Nothing else. Says Leah Panda very up close, kind of playing it together.
And Hesse looking to get in position. Run it back available. Flashes aren't quite here just yet. Obviously, Hesse's still sitting on one. Maybe waiting for the Trailblazer to accompany the run it back into the site. No, Hesse actually just going to step up. Let's play Flash. No ult needed. Pushes through. We'll find one. Look, he grabs the trade onto Maple, who scrapes out a kill. The Cove will allow for the plant. The defense are split up across the map, but will work their way back into this retake.
Teleport's ready.
Post plant, that util gets put down. The round, the 1 second should be long. Just out of Chosen Ones. Shutting down the flank is just gonna make it a lot easier. Go Peach Tea, the last one's alive, and the last ones on this round that get taken down. Chosen Ones here making it to 4. The patience as well to win the game. Knowing Core as well, there's not much that they could do at least in that round, especially towards A. They played together for that trade for Maple to get the 1, but after that there was nobody up close to shut it down. Look at that, 4 ultimates now for Core. This is the round that has to work out for them. An operator 2 for Maple, now positioned towards B, as we often get to see for these Jet players.
Shutting them down.
And Phoenix playing pretty far back.
And we finally get to see this run it back. Hesse just going to run through all this utility, and unfortunately that ult does not get the desired outcome there. Immediately sent back. But hey, much like last round, that ult may not even be needed in finding victory in this one.
That Trailblazer was a Tacti Bear.
They're all Tacti Bears. The Owl drones are Tacti Bears as well. I love it so much. I get that run it back. It does allow for this. Look at this. Naomi gives up this position because of the footsteps heard out towards Art. And because of the run it back, dealing with the Killjoy utility, Violet's been able to deposit pretty safely. Ooh, and Maple gives up on the angle, expecting something maybe from Link. Eventually recorrects themselves to find that frag.
Yeah.
And takes out one of the controllers here for Chosen Ones.
Maple repositions because of it, but now the whole play is coming through from Belong.
And no more util available with this null command. Flash on the outside. Goku goes 1 for 1, but a resurrection still available. Beautiful backstab. The timing there as Violet holds it down from Link. It allows the push through from Zoe. And they completely crunch Maple. No way in, no way out. Now Core will try their hand in a 3v3. Eventually that kill will come through. Mookie's still sitting on the Reckoning and actually has it in hand, so about to create some waves. The Cosmic Divide comes down, cutting up the players out towards Long, but nobody's there anymore. It's only Violet who's dancing around the wall. 2 players backside, Zoe first up, first to fall. Peachy there for the trade, and Violet tries to hang on, but Peachy just a bit better. A double kill for the Astra and a second for Core.
And the Reckoning at the end, what it does is force the players to go right in even faster than they were planning to for Core. It works out great for Peach T as well for the last kill.
Stand tall.
But with the scary back and forth, especially when we got to see that repositioning coming through for the Jet of Maple. One clearing or trying to check that right, the other one just on the other side of the wall. But the retake once again is what is the difference maker for Core. The chosen ones now left with still a couple tools here, including there's gonna be that Viper's Pit essentially.
There hasn't been a whole lot of this, has there? Chosen ones haven't really threatened B long. Until the middle of that last round, I don't think we've seen any pressure here. So now we're starting to see it, and it's free cross. Yeah, they do have Naomi here. That could be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you have so much to deal with up close.
Welcome to my world.
And now on the opposite side, the flip side of the coin, Core now have a lot to deal with as they allow free passage onto the B site. Sure, the Nano Swarm stalled for just a second, but once that was gone, the pit came down, the domain expansion. And this right now, this young one hose, Swamp, we'll see if they'll allow Core into it. Trailblazer comes through, doesn't spot a whole lot. Looking to find the first, I mean, just holding it down for the next. They're gonna try to avoid the pit, but they're running right into the sight lines of Chosen One, and everybody falls. Only 2 in response for Core, but a dominant take on this B site from Chosen Ones.
Especially as he's the one who takes that initiative to go right in first. Makes the space, takes a little bit of damage because of that kill you told that we mentioned, but even then, having the Viper's Pit ends up working as that win condition. Even with 3 players that were there, the only one that was kind of left behind towards B long was Violet, watching the flank, make sure that nobody was gonna be pushing from there. Nobody was. So another round here secure for the set of Chosen Ones. An attempt on a push from this defensive side. They got in light though, doesn't spot anybody.
I'm wondering how much that last round has actually conditioned Core, because now they're putting stuff out towards B long, trying to sell that maybe somebody's headed out this way, while the rest of the team is working for another A crunch. And the lesser weaponry, again, just too tall of an ask for Core to deal with 4 players. 5 stomping this way. They do find a trade kill, but still find themselves a player down on the defense.
Planted. Flooding them.
And 3v4, it seems like it would be a lot more doable if the weapons just were in the hands of Core, but they're not. One recovery though. Vanda only has a Maple. An attempt here with Naomi as well, and Goku playing together. One up close.
Okay, it ends up working, but again, the catch-all. Mookie has been the catch-all for Chosen Ones from last round into this one. And Ryan, how many times today have we seen players think an angle is clear and then pull out a knife and start running? That has happened way too much.
It's happened a good amount of times, yeah. And the angles are so up close as well here, like you see for Easy. And crouch, I mean, everything to make it hard right in the middle. And at the end, just another round that works for the set of Chosen Ones. I don't think this team, they haven't won 3 rounds in a row so far. So taking it one step at a time, it seems like that is the natural next one. The Seekers 2 for Zoe. The Reckoning 2 for Mookie.
Oh man, and the Flash just gets nothing. Goku, however, still walks away with the kill. Fragment down. It's gonna put Kyungwon Ho in a tough spot, still finds a frag. The running gun from Maple, hoping to find some more. The Reckoning at their feet. Nobody's home. Now Violet on the swing. Will find the frag onto the Jet. 2 remain here for Chosen Ones, but they have options. Spike in hand, and they're going to commit it here to this B site.
Stunned, but the spike still gets planted, and the player's going to be positioning towards B long. This is where the lockdown comes in. Doesn't really cover anything, though.
No, interesting lockdown here. Still sightlines on the spike. Very clear vision from Mookie and Violet. Flash to confirm this information. A smoke comes down. PT will hop onto the spike. Violet's dealt with the first. Mookie grabs the next and will find one through the smoke. Again, the catch-all gets it done. And it's a 7th for the Chosen One.
That is a problem, right? The lockdown comes in, but everybody's outside of that range already. The 2v3 to work it still. Shooting through the smoke and the time running out.
One enemy remaining.
The chances for Core do the same thing. Has Violet used the Tour de France?
No. No reason to. They're rich. They're all rich. They got all Gucci everything over there on the Chosen One side.
Maple 5 HP right away.
Ultimate
Should
ready.
be healed by Leah Panda.
Toxins going
Not
up.
the way that you want to start those rounds once again. Where there's barely anything besides that Bulldog, the strongest one for a Maple. Now somebody else wanting to swing in. Play up close. That one being Naomi.
Yeah, trying to cut this angle down. Stinger needs to keep it close. There's that Bulldog getting back to the action. Maple eventually dealt with flash on the outside that allows Naomi to feel comfortable enough to swing and find a frag. Onto one of the controllers here. One still remains. Mookie still the catch-off. Still could be a problem. Run it back. Get sent back from whence it came. Flash out over the top, but it's not enough to stop Hesse. And Mookie will grab another. And Naomi and Peach will try and hang on to this round.
Careful now.
And the play for Core was so good there. They were able to spot Maple early on towards Sling. Maple goes all the
30
way,
seconds left.
the other way around towards Art. Swings, Naomi swings. They get the first success, but Hesse just right in. The run it back, shots down the play, and the spike
Can't
once
use that
again
yet.
getting planted.
Spike planted.
The 2v3.
Last time we saw this, Cosmic Divide was used to cut off this angle out towards long, and 2 players were back halls. Because of this, Chosen Ones are looking to go right back to that play. And the Cosmic Divide's not even used. Peach T erased almost immediately. I mean, makes a minor cameo on this B site and is immediately ripped away from it all. Naomi follows as well. And it's an 8 for Chosen Ones. Hey, this is Chosen Ones map pick, and they are showing us why.
This is what I started to notice, right, a couple of rounds ago. How the plan, I mean, this really doesn't compare to the attacking side that we got to see from Chosen Ones on Ascent. There's so many layers to it. There's so much variation that they're bringing, especially towards this A side, but really understanding how this win condition was going to look like with Harbor Util more than anything. Right in, and every single time the spike gets planted towards B, there's no answer.
Now Maple getting run down. Hesse trying to do just that, but Peach T will allow the Jet to escape because of that. Maple given a second life and a chance to take another. It's Zoe to fall. The hands of the Blade Storm. And for one of the first rounds, I think we've seen it. Core put themselves in the driver's seat. 2 players ahead.
No, the bird gets stuck again.
Again. If the bird was a Tactibear on the mini-map, this wouldn't be a problem.
That's true. Yeah, that makes it all the difference. It is the aggression towards A that you get to see for the defense gets 2, and immediately the 3 players back up. On the A side, at least, and B playing a little bit closer. The KO for Gogu gets taken down. And look at it, the rotations are still taking place for Core, but the spike is towards A. This is where it's going to be planted. Once again, it's going to be a retake.
And there is not a world where Core were expecting one of 3 players in a 3v5 to be lurking alone out towards the B side. So when Kyungwon Ho found that kill, they think surely all 3 of them have to be close together. They have to be in tow. But instead, that spike makes its way out to the A site. They find it planted. The high tide gets a little awkward. Doesn't quite do its trick, but Violet will, however, cut the numbers now down to even. A tap on the spike. Here comes that Cosmic Divide. A snake bite goes through, though. It's going to make it harder to hop onto that spike with the vulnerability. The core aren't on the spike. They want to fight for this one as they push through the wall. Chosen ones start to get cut down. Violet will try and hang on. 3 players on the opposite side, and Naomi will take all 3 lives with her as Core will find a third.
Finally, with some answer here for Core on these retakes. And that was the Cosmic Divide too. Understanding where the players were going to be located towards main, and Naomi going massive once again for these kinds of rounds where the multi-kills are just a necessity to secure it. Shutting down the momentum for those 4 rounds in a row, but one last chance to make it 4-8 on the half for Core.
Stay in the moment.
No comment. Maybe some
You
seekers
want
too
to
for the
play?
Panda.
Let's play.
An aggressive for Core towards B with the operator.
Oh, and the Viper was trying to do it again. The Viper thought, hey, I found success with it last round. Maybe I can sneak up this time. But Core don't let it happen.
Maple doesn't let it happen. Completely isolated in that scenario. Waits a couple seconds, goes back in, and able to find that success.
I suggest you.
But on the opposite side, not quite an operator, but a tour de force. Reckoning also going to keep Peach T at bay. There's not a lot of options here. Rifle in hand, Peach T under fire inside main, but Violet expends the magazine and eventually falls because of it. Maple now expecting players still to work their way through main. Zoe narrowly escapes death as an ult command comes through. Gogu gonna get knocked down and taken out as Maple 9-3 is where we land. The Chosen Ones with a dominant lead as we swap sides.
Very dominant, the 3-9. And Chosen Ones showing us what they had on this defensive side. On the attacking side, rather, kind of was going to be located early on as the Chamber was the one finding success towards the A side, holding it down as well with the trademark. The fight right as well going on. Allowing Hisi to take that mid control once again. So I'm gonna see if it's gonna be the kind of same setup that you see on the defense, or where this push can be coming from. And again, Chosen Ones have won every single pistol of the series.
Yeah. Every single pistol, and they're not happy with the outcome of that last map, so they really brought it to Core here in map 2. Oh, and are they expecting this? Hesi tucked away inside Arc. Who checks the box? The flash out and over the top. Naomi, good to check that one. Looking out, getting run down inside. The Nebula smoke will be allowed to escape. The defense, however, this is the strong side of the map for Chosen Ones. And Zoe's able to battle back for one. Spike gets planted, right clicks on the backside. Young One Ho just eats through this Core defense, or well, attackers turn defenders.
Standing.
And I mean, now again, the asks become so large of both Naomi and Peach T, and now it's all up to Peach T. Another right click will do it, and Chosen Ones are perfect in their pistols.
Having to cross that wall as well for the 2 players left.
Teleport's ready.
And the even 4 players looking right at you makes it impossible. Double digits now for Chosen Ones. When things were a second starting to look like they were gonna go the other way, but once again, the classic right click to the savior once again for these maps. And a little bit of a force coming through. Some stingers in the hands of Core to stay alive on this map.
I think that Viper wall missed on the defense. I think it was supposed to extend all the way to market to stop what could be a turret in that position. Instead, the turret is just outside this mid window. Naomi. I mean, the turret is just continues to be tripped. It's a force buy coming to this one for Core. They don't want to give up that easily. But early in this, shots through the smoke. Find the first frag. Maple's gone, and a snake bite will keep the rest of the attack from pushing through Art.
At least for a second, though, are still trying to commit here. It's going to be Link instead, and the wall that they have to cross, too.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
I mean, the utils just the spam through the smoke. Hesse played that really well. Gets smoked off, plays the flash, continues with the spam through the high tide.
Yeah.
And this was a force that did not go the way that Core was expecting it.
Really showing kind of the reason why this was the map that Chosen Ones wanted to bring
30 seconds left.
to this side of Core. And we talked about the experience, we talked about Core and players that we know from previous game changers, previous teams that we've seen make it to the top 8. But this is kind of a different story for Chosen Ones.
You dead?
Nice headshot there, but a lot more needed as the time runs out. And yeah, gonna be instead of Chosen Ones making it to 11 in team. Again, that is the players that could be in the come up, the players that you give, you know, a couple game changer series, and then you see moving up, moving forward, just keeping an eye on a little bit of everything that you get from the Open Qualifier.
And now this timeout taken by Core. And I would imagine, I think we know the answer in what they're going to do with their economy here in this one. But you're basically forced to concede this round and map point. Because you're sitting on 1,700, 1,900 credits, you either force all the way out and then hope the Stingers are going to do it, or you save here in this one and full buy into the next. So we'll see what the call is, because the force did not work in the last, and things look a little bit better with that reinvestment from Chosen Ones Black. They're buying rifles, right? It's not going to be as even of a fight as it would have been in that last round.
4 rifles for Chosen Ones on this defensive side, and this is one where they can play a little bit more far back. They don't have to play so up close. Maybe if they go for some aggression, you're gonna be seeing 2-3 players move into that same direction. So there is a very clear understanding for Chosen Ones of giving that space, willing and giving that respect to Core. Let them play the game, see if they can take the space just with the weapons that they have.
Yeah, and this could be huge. The one and done position from Zoe, does that get clear? Flash through the wall, the jet goes up, and the rest of the defense, they just push through it. They completely disregard Maple, and Hesse has a huge round. 4 kills, the way of the Phoenix. And Naomi is the last one standing. 3 bullets left in the magazine, but the last one is all it takes. It's an ace for Hesse.
What a way to come back to the series for Hesse. I mean, we remember the first map, the first couple rounds, finding no success on the jet, slowly starting to feel it a little bit more, and now the ace with the Phoenix just doesn't get any better.
One enemy remaining.
Makes it very interesting as we get closer and closer to heading to a third map by the looks of this one. But it all depends on Core here. How the buy here with the rifle is going to look like, and it's aggressive on it.
Ooh, a really good 0 point here. Hesse wanted to use this ultimate to try and fight inside of A main, but it gets slowed down. Damage exchanged back and forth, but nobody's fall just yet. This Core walk away from the fight inside A main. Everybody stays alive.
Taking a little bit of damage, but that's the help there for this guy on each side. Backing up to 4-4. Three players in B already.
Yeah, Core doing it again, playing obviously unbeknownst to them, but playing into the strong side of the map for the Chosen Ones. Oh, and that Trailblazer. The jig is up. Hesse now going to try and take this fight. The stun was still there. Youngwon Ho going to be the one awarded the kill with the snake bite. Maple not in position to try and walk their way out of it. Naomi, however,
30
has a kill on their
seconds left.
Sentinel counterpart. A weapon upgrade and alarm bot that goes down. Hesse trying to get something through the wall as they look to sneak away, but they're gone safely.
Spike planted.
And Violet was the only one who stayed a little bit closer to his A side, had the trademark available as well. But right as Violet tries to swing in, that's when she gets taken down. Oh, the timing was everything to get the spike planted and get that space over there.
DT about to come up huge. Walks up on two unsuspecting defenders. And now no reason for Mookie and Hesse to not try here in this one. But much like Core have felt, it's now the chosen ones who find themselves in a tough spot to try and retake this one. Instead, they opt in to try and hurt some of the economy, and Hesse has done just that. 2 more rifles stripped away as the round swings the way of Core. They hang on for 1 more.
They hang on to 2 of those rifles. I mean, maybe a couple of those light shields. 2 as they just try to stabilize themselves, and maybe it could be just in time as the other side for Chosen Ones already having those 12 rounds. We end up with those Seekers too on the attacking side. Great for playing it just a little bit faster as they might intend to on this round.
Yeah, Hesse does not care. Hesse does not care. Hesse is just looking to take fights, and they really have 6 to 8 rounds to do so, to just have fun with it. Mookie gonna drop down. The Reckoning waves now starting to be created here on the A site. Mookie gonna try and back up the Reckoning, and I mean, as the dust settles, it's definitely a bit more aggressive this time around than what we saw at the start of the last round. Hesse is the only one standing for Chosen One.
A lot more aggressive, if anything, especially on the A side. And again, it's those Seekers that allow you to do that right away. Get to see that guiding light. That Jet playing very up close, dashing right into the side, and the Seekers come through. They detect one of the players' Sower's secret, make sure that nobody Sower's dugout, and with that, the site belongs to Core. How many of these, though, can they continue bringing in a row, right? That is what's going to keep them alive on this map. Make sure that the map number 3 is not going to take place, but it's not easy at all.
I got yous, okay?
No, anything but easy here. They have to be perfect. And Hesse is 1 pip away from the run it back. That could be all it takes for Chosen Ones to throw a wrench into one of these attacking rounds for Core.
And this buy is so scary, though, for Chosen Ones. You have the Marshals, you have the Guardian as well. You even have the Headhunter as well for Violet. Still having to be very careful, especially on this side.
And again, 3 defenders are here. No command will turn off the ability, so it will come down to those weapons. Good fragment, gonna force Zoe out into position. And with that, 2 kills capitalized on. Only 1 more defender remains close to this site, and it's Hesse to back away and link up the rest of the team.
Planted.
Players stuck, nowhere to go, especially Zoe. As a fragment was sent right to her face, ends up getting taken down as she was trying to avoid it. And with that, 5v3 starting to look better and better, but easy still. The danger to deal with the run it back as well, going for it, shot down.
And they try to find a way back into this one. Just not the easiest, so they'll look to play containment. Good hot hands, actually, to the feet of Maple. Brings him down to 1 HP. Hesse happily maybe sacrificing themselves to strip away a couple more weapons. We'll get 1 on the way out, but it's a 6th for Core.
Easy doesn't miss. How scary is that? Ends up getting taken down right at the end, but the picks that this player is getting, this Phoenix was getting, just absolutely insane with the Guardian too. Feeling it, making sure that the team can close out this map. But now 3 rounds in a row going that side of Core.
Now.
The attacking side has found the most success for both of the teams.
It is scary for Core and Core fans that the success that has been found comes at match point every time. Or I guess map point is what it is, because should the Chosen Ones win this one, we're headed to a map 3. But, you know, you're happy, obviously, to see Core finding this success. But again, it's backed against the wall. It's such a scary spot to be in, going 1 for 1 as Maple and the trades are back and forth. As Youngwon Ho just tucks away, looking to play safe. Naomi going to be the one to take the duel and will win it out. Now Violet with Operator in hand, looks to pick up the pieces that have been left around this A site, and Core giving Violet absolutely nothing.
The operator, the
Teleport's ready.
1v3. Hoping one of the players is gonna go for it, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna be the case at all. And yet, like you said, kind of with the back against the wall for this map, and that's when you start to see the success to be found by Core. And this is something that can keep some players going, right? Kind of that pressure situation that motivates them and brings the best out of so many of them. So that could be the case of Core. That is what we are seeing right now. Violet misses the shot with the operator. Naomi's gonna get the best of it, and now it's 7 rounds for Core.
Only a tool. You can't just shoot.
What a play as well that we saw on the defense was actually a good idea right away. They have 3 players from Art going right in. They take down the turret that we have for Core towards window. And so for Core, that is still uncomfortable because you don't know if it's going to be a flank coming through. You don't have all the resources to watch back, so you have to put one of the bodies to be holding the angle while Chosen Ones were going right into Art, going right for those kills. And it was just trades at the end that go the way of the attacking side of the spike gets planted. So the idea was good in paper, but when the kills come through and when the space is already giving to Core, they're not just gonna give it up.
Yeah, good timing in that last site hit. Everybody, a lot of times your jet can maybe be a bit ahead of the play, but as Maple dashed in, like you mentioned, the trades were just perfect. It was Maple finding the first, getting traded. I believe Gogu hopped into the kill feed, then Peach T found the player that was inside Art, trying to fight into the A side. So good timing. The longer this attack side goes for Core, the more comfortable they seem to be becoming. And because of that, Chosen Ones take their time out, and they'll see if they can't not only stop this streak of attacking round wins, but close out this map.
And can it be on a round like this one, right? When the buy is a little bit uncomfortable coming through for Chosen Ones.
This is always
There's gonna
the
be
round.
potentially 4 ultimates. Trying to bait even some ultimates would be already winning in some way for Chosen Ones. There's gonna be 4, now 4 after the Panda grabs that orb.
And more often than not, I feel like this Core attack finds themselves kind of running into the strong side of the map for the defense. A lot of the rounds, it was out towards the B site with 3 defenders there. This time, they almost look to hit this A site, and although the weaponry is lesser than, it is the stronger of the 2 sites for the Chosen Ones. But they go against that judgment, and all 5 have since rotated to the opposite side.
There's Viper as well, but the Stinger only, all the way towards holes, all the way back, so it doesn't get easy at all for the Viper, even trying to run away. And yeah, there it is, taken down, nobody else there.
Yeah, forced to reload. The 1 rifle that is available was actually 2 rifles. Zoe has 1, Mookie has the other. And one of which had taken the fight with Maple. Forces them off the line. Now this Trailblazer searches for some information. Hesty trying to find a flash, but nobody affected by that one. Up goes the Blaze Wall. And now who goes aggressive here, forcing the hand of this attack to try and push forward as they've been cut off. A few players out towards long, but they have not been able to answer back until now, finally. Peach T works their way into the mix, and I mean, it's just the post plant that's been set up here. Hesse gonna try and hop onto the spike. 33 HP, was dealing with the turret, then had to deal with the owner just after that. And Naomi helped put another one on the board for Core.
It's great knowing you all.
And in the meantime, Yeezy trying to get those 30 kills, 27 so far.
Enemy crazy. Destroyed. You tried.
And trying to be the one who takes the team to that 3rd map. And the kills are going the way of Yeezy, but
Here.
the rounds not so much for the set of Chosen Ones. So we talked about the ultimates available, and Core was able to use them just fine.
That works.
Towards B long, as you got to see that aggression being a little bit more reactionary, if anything. Viper Spid also invested towards A, so a lot of a heavier presence on B.
If Core can, if they can find a way to flip the A site, though, that's a very deep Viper's pit. That would then put the Viper, on kind of what is the wrong side of the map. Lockdown used. Hesse gonna go aggressive. Set right back as Mookie answers. It's the back and forth again. But now Hesse, the one in danger, forced to back away to avoid getting detained.
Just adjust in time, but guys, obviously gonna get that time for the spike to be planted once again. QOR's long, so nobody having to take that fight up close. There's enough tools as well, and the Seekers wanting to be the answer.
Yeah, PT backs away from the play, looking to play the stars on top of the spike, but Zoe just completely erases their flash on the backside. Nobody affected by that one, and that is how we do it. Core try their darndest. They piece together a handful, but it all falls down as the Chosen Ones close us out 13-8 here on Pearl.
We knew this was gonna be closer, and it did seem like that comeback that we talked about was really about to take place. As in the last couple rounds, the two players going together as they have to swing towards be long, and the players at the end on the post line get taken down one by one. Well done, especially us. We knew this was the map of Chosen Ones. We wanted to see what they had. We wanted to see how this compass with the Chamber and the Phoenix was going to work out, was going to play together. And we got to see some cool ideas from them. We get to see the map number 3.
Yeah, we get to see the map number 3. So both of these teams tested. And this is all we could have asked for here in the first day of groups. An impressive matchup here between Core and the Chosen Ones. As we hop away for a short break, we're going to get things set up, and we'll meet you guys on the other side with Lemon Kiwi to set us up for Haven.
Ion Vandal with the orange and black Radiant, favorite skin, bar none. It shoots better than every other Vandal in the game. If you give me any other Vandal skin, I'm horrible with it. Ion Vandal, I'm dropping third.
I would have to say I really like, sometimes it's Gaia's and then sometimes it's Prime Vandal. Those two are very on and off, and it also depends on the agent that I'm playing. Because Gaia's feels a little bit weird in Breach's hands, because they're so big and clunky.
My favorite Vandal skin is Sakura. However, I go on like months where I can use it, and then it stops hitting for a little, so I have to put on the Play to Chaos.
I have two favorite Vandal skins. I really like the white and gold Forsaken, and I also really like Ion, because Ion, I just hit my best 1v5 like clutch in like 5 seconds with the Ion earlier, so it's like, ooh, so nice.
My favorite Vandal skin has to be the Play to Chaos. It's a Scourge Vandal. Always like good for tier every time you have it equipped.
Gaia's Vengeance. My favorite Vandal is Gaia's Vengeance. I like the way it sounds, and I like that it looks glittery.